This, all of them?
Yes, these are the resignation letters from all the new hires.
Accept them all. Let's ramp up mid-career recruiting. My name is Keiichi Sato. I'm the president of Tokimeki Corp., a semiconductor manufacturing company. This, all of them?
Yes, these are the resignation letters from all the new hires.
Yamadera, HR Director. The reasons cited include my academic background and dissatisfaction with the company. We hired mostly graduates from prestigious universities this time, on your recommendation. I'm not sure if that was the cause, but when there's a bias in hiring, it can sometimes lead to a chain reaction. Please be more cautious next time.
You're saying it's my fault? Isn't it the company culture that's the problem? I'm quitting as well. Goodbye.
He's only been with us for 6 months though.
What should we do?
Accept them all. Let's ramp up mid-career recruiting.
Understood. Let's learn from this.
And just like that, all the new hires quit. Among them, the one who seemed the most confident was...
Nice to meet you, everyone. I'll be joining the sales department starting today. My name's Yusei Komori. I graduated from T University, and during my time there...
That's him, Yusei.
At my previous job at Tokimeki Corp., well, how should I put it? I guess you could say our values didn't really align. It felt overly friendly and lacked any sense of professionalism, you know?
No need to worry, Yusei. Our workplace is absolutely a team of professionals. We're always striving to be the best. There's no room for softness. I'm confident we can meet your expectations.
Wow, that makes me really happy, Mr. Yokomine. Amazing! This is exactly what I expected from Doki Doki Corp. Here I can finally...
Now then, let's begin the meeting. First, regarding the roadmap for the next generation semiconductors. Based on last week's discussion, I think it needs to be revised.
I agree. But lately, customers have been asking more and more demands. So an early paradigm shift is important.
With the current integration flow being discussed, the risks are pretty high, especially due to the dangers of electromigration.
What do you think, Yusei? Would benchmarking be the right approach?
Sorry, I didn't really understand what you were saying. Could you tell me again what I'm being asked?
Wait, were you even listening? We were discussing the risks related to our new product, you know?
I kinda got that much. But what was it again?
Seriously, did you only graduate from T University and call it a day? Haven't you read any technical literature? For example, the German scholar Leiberhauer and his so-called SOJ theory.
I've never heard of that. I wanted to go into sales, so I tried to learn about the products a little, but obviously...
Then you've got no choice but to read up on it now. You can handle German, right?
Of course you can. I barely know any English, let alone German.
Oh dear. Someone with that kind of motivation actually joined our company? Back when I was a student, no one I knew lacked ambition like that.
I worked hard, too, surrounded by people like you, with no real drive. No drive?
Now, everyone. Let's not bully Yusei too much. He's a junior of Mizukawa, right? You should ask him for advice during your breaks.
I'm Mizukawa, sales section chief. Try to keep up, alright? Yes, sir. Did we just walk into a crazy company or what? What was Yamadera's HR department even doing? It was useless. I could tell they were talking, but I had no idea what they were saying. And even though I had a 65 academic score, I was the lowest in the room. No way! What kind of geniuses are in this company? If this keeps up, we're gonna be left behind. I should have stayed at Tokimeki Corp after all. What are you saying now? I mean, at least back there, I could understand what people were talking about. The conversations weren't complicated. If I'm gonna get buried somewhere overly high level, maybe I'd be better off being the king at a low level place. I could have had status, fame, money. What are you giving up for? Just take over here instead. Competition beats camaraderie. If that's how you feel, I'm leaving you behind. Wait. Don't leave me here. Please.
Alright, shall we get started? To all the new mid-career hires, please feel free to speak up if you have any input.
Of course. It's not mandatory, so no pressure.
Now, today's agenda is the development schedule for the new compact chip model. Looks like Doki Doki Corp is working on something similar, so let's keep things moving smoothly. Thoughts?
If we could streamline the steel plate assembly process, that would be ideal.
Makes sense. But lately, we've had a lot of feedback from customers asking for near zero defects. So we want to improve reliability while keeping things efficient.
Even with the current simplified workflow, wiring issues are a concern.
Then maybe we should rework the designs from the blueprint stage. We can even gather feedback from the factory workers with a survey to identify risks and suggestions.
Good idea. Let's act on it quickly. I think I'm pretty good at organizing that kind of feedback. Much appreciated. Work with Sales Director Oshimoto and get it going. You're from the same hometown, right? What a coincidence. Let's chat about our favorite local spots while we're at it. Yes.
That's great. The new hires all seem really open and willing to learn.
Yeah, it's important to think about team balance and bring in people with different personalities.
That last new hire who spoke up seems like a real hard worker. Is that why you paired them with Oshimoto?
Yeah, he's really good at taking breaks. I mean, he always puts the team's workload first. Didn't know they were from the same hometown though.
You're incredible, Keiichi. I want to be someone who can lead everyone like you do.
That's the spirit. If you take over my role in meetings someday, it'll make my life a whole lot easier. But no rush, just take your time and do your best.
Yes.
A few months later.
Now, regarding last month's sales at Doki Doki Corp. Unfortunately, we weren't able to hit our target numbers. I'd like us all to discuss the reasons behind that. First, how was our process for each customer? We'll also need to consider the implications of that.
That's true. But before that, shouldn't we start by deciding which segment we're targeting?
Since customer needs can shift based on contingency factors, we should prioritize agility. You say, I understand what you're trying to say, and I appreciate you trying to adapt to our way of doing things. Yes, but you know, using fancy words doesn't automatically make something better. I'd like you to stick to the language we all understand.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of those terms just didn't sound familiar.
I'm sorry. Also, yes, you've shown some promising results for a newcomer, but it could just be beginner's luck. So for now, how about you just observe and learn by listening? Yes. Last week they told me I should speak up more.
Excuse me, may I interrupt for a moment?
What is it?
Today only, we have Noah from Tokimeki Corp here to observe. She's here to learn how our meetings are run and how we all communicate.
Wait, is it okay to let someone from a rival company into our meeting?
It's fine. It's just for one day. Besides, it's not like you're all so amazing that someone could just copy you overnight, right?
Well, I guess.
Alright then, I'm counting on you all.
I look forward to learning from you today. Just don't get in the way, okay? Yes.
Now then, let's start by discussing the customer processes.
No, first, we need to decide which segment we're targeting. And since needs fluctuate, we should be emphasizing agility.
She stole my exact words. But if we focus too much on agility, it comes at the cost of operational excellence.
Then for each customer journey... may I say something? What? We're at a crucial point right now. The discussion seems to be getting muddled. What? Mizukawa is trying to make the topic about how we're going to sell to customers. Meanwhile, the other viewpoint is about who we should target in the first place. Both of these are absolutely critical, so it's not about choosing one over the other. We need to address both.
So we were both kind of saying the same thing.
That's why first, we need to decide who to tackle first.
What should we start with?
If we don't define the target, we can't define the method either. Alright, let's start there then.
And so the meeting continued for another 2 hours. Good work today. So how was the meeting?
It went more smoothly and enjoyably than any I've attended before.
Looks like Tokimeki Core's got some talent too. Thank you.
I can't believe someone like you was hiding at Tokimeki Corp.
But Keiichi has been leading meetings at Tokimeki Core the same way, hasn't he?
No, that's not it at all. I'm sure your background is just super impressive, right?
Oh? My highest level of education is from F University.
What?
Wow, that's unexpected.
Well, I'm glad to hear it went smoothly. Shall we go observe the planning department's meeting next?
Yes.
The next day, meanwhile at Doki Doki Corp's sales department, the same complicated, difficult meetings continued. As he sat through them, Komori couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Then, one day, there was a problem during the next-gen semiconductor production stage.
Yes, it seems there's been some conflict between our sales team and the factory workers. I've tried stepping in a few times myself, but nothing came of it.
Understood. I'll try talking to them too.
Shishido, has your stance changed at all today?
No, I've said it repeatedly. If we don't follow the proper procedures, there's a risk of producing defective products.
But if we don't take steps to deconstruct the bottleneck process, we may face significant delays.
I've said this before. I understand those kinds of terms. The deputy plant manager does too. But some of our workers don't understand that kind of complicated language. We've told you again and again. We'd appreciate it if you just explain things in simpler terms.
I am trying to explain it as simply as I can.
Look, the delay in development came from the fact that you submitted documents full of hard-to-understand terms. In the first place, it took us forever just to figure them out. And now you're asking us to cover for your mistake like it's our fault? That's not right.
I see. I understand the situation now. I sincerely apologize for all the extra procedures. But things won't get resolved at this rate. Unless one side makes a concession, the product won't get finished. If we oversimplify our language, it undermines or dilutes the points we're trying to make. So, ideally,
it's hard, especially from a safety standpoint.
You seem to be in a bit of a bind.
Tokimeki Corp, why are you here?
I called them. I asked for help.
Help? What for?
It's simple. We were asked to step in as a neutral party. We're also under contract with Day's factory, so we're in a position to mediate.
Mr. Shishido is not the best communicator, and Doki Doki Corp struggles with flexibility. Someone had to step in, right?
Still, Tokimeki Corp.
Doki Doki Core is requesting to shorten certain work processes, correct? But from Day's factory's perspective, that's difficult as it poses safety risks. So unless we cut steps, the only option is to complete everything within the deadline, as is.
But that's going to be difficult, isn't it?
It is, given the current situation.
Let me put it simply. It's difficult because the other party is Doki Doki Corp.
What? Mr. Shishido has concerns that the complexity of Doki Doki Corp's communication makes process efficiency difficult. He's worried that, accounting for all that complexity, he won't meet the delivery deadline.
We've reviewed some of the communications ourselves, and frankly, I doubt anyone could understand them at a glance. Honestly, there are many points where I thought, if they'd just said this more clearly, we'd be done already.
I imagine Doki Doki Corp places great importance on its internal common language.
That's exactly right.
But what's so wrong with that? Sure, we've had a problem this time, but nothing happened before. Maybe that's because your partners made concessions in those previous cases.
When we enter into contracts with factories and such, we often hear about your company. They say it's hard to work with you because everything is phrased in difficult terms. So I asked, half expecting to be turned down, if I could observe how you conduct your internal discussions.
That's a pretty impure motive. And considering both of your backgrounds, I think you're being a bit biased. Noah might have F University listed as her final alma mater, but she actually graduated top of her class from H University in the US before that. What?
Speaking in a difficult way isn't about your background or education. It's simply not kind to others. But you say, you quit our company almost immediately. In the end, you only ever saw things at a surface level. What did you actually learn all this time?
I understand now, okay? Honestly, Doki Doki Corp employees aren't smart. They just want to seem smart.
You say, what exactly?
What really matters is using the right words at the right time. I finally get it. Please let me come back to Tokimeki Corp.
You say,
Yes.
what do you think you got wrong?
That when I looked at Miss Yamashina, I realized something. Anyone who's been through a place like H University has come full circle and ends up speaking as clearly and as plainly as Miss Yamashina does.
That's disappointing.
Why?
I learned from watching Keiichi's example. Where you went to school doesn't matter. Would Keiichi's resume meet your standards? Probably not, right? What matters isn't your past. It's who you are now, your ability, your talent, your personality, your effort. All of that. That's what's important.
I think your thinking is still a bit one-sided. Come back to us after you've refined yourself somewhere else.
What?
Well, at least we got some useful insight today. But unless you make your document easier to understand, we won't be doing any more business with you. If you don't like that, go find a factory that speaks your common language.
No. And so, the development of Doki Doki Corp's next generation semiconductor suffered a massive delay. Tokimeki Corp used that opportunity to produce their own semiconductor first, gaining a major lead in sales over Doki Doki Corp.
This all happened because you said something unnecessary back then. No, it was clearly a documentation error.
Doki Doki Corp then sank into endless internal conflicts, with sales continuing to decline. In the end, they never brought in anyone with a more flexible mindset, and the company went bankrupt a few years later. Yusei and the other employees all insisted it wasn't their fault, and moved on to other companies. But they never quite fit in, and never saw promotions or anything of the sort again. Meanwhile,
Phew! How was today's meeting?
there's nothing left to teach you. I think I'll leave the meetings to you from now on.
I'll miss you, Keiichi.
What? Enjoyed the video?
Then smash that like button and subscribe.